Hey everyone, this is Laurie and I am going to talk to you today about something that a lot of my team and other people that I coach also has been bugging me to get on video and to get an actual training out there. I just hit in my current company that I'm building 100 frontline associates to my team. I have almost 100 customers, so not as many on that, but very close. But that's not the biggest thing. I've done that in my other company before that and before that. And but the thing is, but how do you do it, right? And who would like to have somebody on their team that brings in 100 frontline associates? Because that's a big number. And so I just want to talk to you a little bit about how I did it, how you could do it in your company, and some just tips and tricks and ideas along the way. So, first thing is set realistic goals. So, 100 frontline associates, that's a big number, right? Um, you know, it could be a lot more. I have signed up a lot more in the past. But if you're not anywhere there, if you've signed up 0 or maybe 5 or even 20, then that's still a big number. So you want to have big goals, right? But you also want to have things that your brain can believe that you can achieve, right? So I always say break it down into smaller, more manageable goals and realistic goals for your brain. Same thing. If you're like saying you want to make $1 million a month, but you're not making $50 a month, then your brain not might not be able to believe that you can achieve that, right? So first start out with, I am making $100 a month. I am making $1,000 a month. I am making $10,000 a month because you want to be rewriting your goals all the time. And you want to update your goals. Just like I update my vision board every year, I update my goals every year and a few times throughout the year because I will set different goals for myself. I have monthly goals, I have weekly goals, I have daily goals. And I have yearly goals and I have 5-year goals. I have 10-year goals. So you want to have different goals and then you also want to update your goals as you achieve things. So, for example, aim for a certain number of signups each month or each week, or even aim for a certain number of people that you talk to, because you have to talk to people in order to get signups, right? So, if you don't get so many signups, that could be like a hit on your mindset or your ego or whatever. But if you aim for a certain number of people you talk to, whether they sign up or not, then you could easily go out and talk to somebody new. You could go to the grocery store and stand in line and talk to somebody, right? So think of things that you can also achieve that's going to make you feel good and celebrate those successes along the way. Also, that's one huge thing. Like you don't want to just celebrate too long and not move forward, but you want to make sure that you celebrate your successes and you take time for that, not just okay, I hit that one. Now let's go on to the next one. Same thing. You want to go on to the next one, but you want to also celebrate that success. But so most people, most successful people are people, right? Like when you talk to people just because you want them to sign up, people feel that from you. Now, obviously, if you want to sign up people, you do have to talk to people, right? But there's a difference. Like, for example, this week, I had lunch and dinner, different things with 3 different friends that was purely building that relationship. Now, of course, they know what I do. And yes, of course, I also get together with people for coffee, lunch, or dinner to present my business to them and to sign them up. But I can still get together with people to simply share a meal and a conversation outside of network marketing too. And you have to learn that balance. You have to learn to build relationships. And still, same thing, always present to people, but you don't have to present to people every single time you meet with them, right? And you can still have friendships. One of my closest friends has never been in any business with me, right? But she's still, I count her one of my closest friends. So you can still have that and be okay and not just only have that commission breath, like a lot of people say. But so one way I did get to 100 direct associates was meeting with people. Now, I stay very busy with a retired husband. I spend time with him. I travel with him. I watch two of our grandbabies a few days a week to help our son and his wife out, but I still find time in my schedule. And that's another thing is I do schedule it. I put things on my calendar and I schedule it. My kids, as they grew up in my home, they knew if it was to be, it had to be on my schedule. I put personal stuff and business stuff on my schedule. But that's how I make sure that I don't forget things and I stay in line and I stay with doing things consistently in every area of my life that I'm balancing. So, for example, I plan to meet with someone at least once a week purely for business. Now, granted, sometimes it's more than once a week and sometimes it's in different ways, right? But I mean, for in person, I meet with someone at least once a week in person. We might be friends and we might talk personal stuff too, but they know I don't like uh sideways them, right? They know I'm meeting them for business and we are either meeting because they are already on my team and we're talking strategically to get them to where they want to be, or we're meeting to sign them up on my team or to see if we're a good fit for each other. But I don't ever say to somebody, hey, let's go have coffee or lunch or dinner to catch up and then slide in my business on them. If I want to talk to them about my business, now it might still come up in the conversation naturally too, and that's fine. But I don't like just throw it on them, even though I was inviting them to build the relationship, right? So I keep that difference separate and I let people know that. And the next thing is identify your target audience. So, who are you trying to reach? What are their needs and interests? Because once you know your target audience, then you can tailor your message to them. So, think about who you're wanting to reach out to. The one of the biggest misconceptions is people looking for a salesperson or someone saying, "Oh, I'm not a salesperson like you." That's what people tell me all the time. And I argue everyone is a salesperson, like, especially women, right? You sell your kids or your husband to eat their green beans, right? So you are a salesperson. So the same thing with your product or service or opportunity, you share with people what you know that can help them. You want people on your team who are kind. You want people on your team that care for other people because those will be the leaders on your team. Like you can take those different personality tests. There's the A personalities or the red personalities or whatever. And those are good. Those are good recruiters a lot of times. But a lot of times they're not the nurturers, and not that you can't have any of those either. You want to, same thing, like everything, you want to have a balance, right? But a lot of times those nurturers, those are going to be the people that care for their team, and they're going to want to nurture them to help them to get to the next level. And so another thing that I do is posting on my social media every single day. Now, the same thing, you don't want to post 100% business stuff and just overwhelm people with business, right? I post about 80-20% is my rule, kind of. But I don't really get uptight about it. I don't keep track. I keep track of so many other things, so I don't keep track of this. But I just make sure I post every single day, a couple times a day. but I post different things. I might post about the grandkids. I might post about me and my husband. I might post about a trip we're on. I might post about what I read out of my Bible that day, or what I'm studying scripturally. And then in business, I might post about the product. I'll post about the company. I might post about me winning an award or an incentive trip. Or I might post about someone I signed up, or someone on my team, a congrats that they achieved a certain level. I'll also post testimonials on my pages. And that's whether the testimonial is about one of our products or service or someone on my team. But I'll also post testimonials about me personally, about my personal business, because testimonials and stories sell. And so I always ask people for testimonials when I work with them, whether they're on my team or whether they're in my traditional business that I have. I will ask people for testimonials. I will ask people for testimonials of people that I coach and I train, because when I share those things, then that the same thing, that's something else to share. It's also something that somebody might see that post and be like, oh, I didn't know that you did that. And then the same thing, that just opens the door for questions for you to talk to them and get to build that relationship that may move into that area to sign them up on your team if that's the case. I also add to my social media, like I said, every day. I download my Facebook friends followers list, and then I edit that. I go through at least 5 to 10 a day. I like on people's posts. I comment on people's pages to keep in touch, to keep that interaction going. But I also message people like on their birthdays to keep in touch and keep those relationships going. And there's no relationship if it's not reciprocal, right? So if something isn't reciprocal, then I'll remove them to open it up for actual relationships. One, because Facebook only allows you to have 5,000 quote friends. Now you can still have more followers, and that's great. But I look for new people to connect with often also. I don't just add people either. I look at their page. I look and see the mutual friends we have. I see their posts. If their posts align with me or my way of thinking, then I'll invite them to be a friend. If the same thing, I'm probably not going to sign up someone in my business if we don't align on things, right? Now, that doesn't mean everything, because you're not going to agree with anyone on everything, right? You don't even agree with your spouse. Like my spouse and I, we agree on almost everything, but there's still a couple things that we discuss, right? And so you're not going to ever agree with 100% with everything with someone, but you want to work with people on your team, with people that you align with, that you get along with, right? Because if you're building a business with them, you also want to enjoy hanging out with them, because you're going to do that at company events or trips you win, things like that. So you want to have those good connections with those people and build those. But each day I look for reasons to reach out for people. So like I said, if it's someone's birthday, I reach out with, a text or a message on Facebook. I comment on people's posts daily. I send them private messages, if they post something that said, I was having an anxiety attack. I have a product that can help with that, that's natural, that's drug-free. And so I might send them a message that says, hey, have you ever seen my post on this? I think this might be able to help you. It's money back guaranteed. So there's no risk, and see if they're open to it, and then further that conversation. People that comment on my posts, then I reach out to them, and not just, oh, thanks for commenting on my post, but I reach out to them to start that conversation, right? Because that's the goal. Keep the conversations, build the relationships, especially if you're working online almost 100% of the time, which is where I'm at now in this chapter of my life. I ran networking, most you that know me know I ran networking meetings for 16 years all over Middle Tennessee, every Thursday and Friday of every month, in different cities every single week. And that was amazing. And I love it because I'm very much a social butterfly. But I'm in a new chapter of my life. I'm helping with my grandbabies. Like I said, I'm traveling with my husband. And so I build mostly online now, but I still implement things in person as well. But the next thing is be on more than one platform. So I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Threads, X. I don't remember if there's any more. But you should post to all of them, at least some. Now, you don't want to get overwhelmed and go, oh my goodness, I can't keep up with one. I definitely can't keep up with that many. But you want to just post to all of them here and there. But as you work on it more, you're going to find your playground, where you're most comfortable, where you love. And that's where you should focus. So, for example, my quote playground is Facebook. I probably post on there the most. For me, the second is probably LinkedIn and then Instagram. Um, but that's where I get the most results. That's where I'm the most comfortable. But I still push myself to be on the others and I still make my presence on the others. Videos, not my favorite. But as you can see, like with this, I can do it. And I push myself to do it though. But like TikTok, I'm on there. YouTube, I'm on there. I pushed myself to be on there. And I'm probably not on there as often as I should. But the same thing, we are all, no matter how good we are, we're all working on ourselves to be better, to get better. And if you're not, you should be. But, never think that you've arrived because things change all the time, right? Platforms change all the time. Situations change all the time. But the thing is, do what you like and do that more, but also push yourself to try the different things and see how you do on them. Because you never know, you might end up finding out that you like something else better too. Excuse me. The next thing is build relationships with people. People are more likely to join your business if they know, like, trust, and remember you, right? So don't reach out to people just because you've joined the new company. And that's the only time you ever reach out to them, right? That shouldn't be. That's not building a relationship. That's not a quote friend, right? So take the time to get to know your friends, your prospects, build relationships with them. Yes, you can sign somebody up on the spot when you meet them. That can happen, but most times you need to build a relationship with them. Find out who they would like to build a team with and help them, work with them, do three-way calls, three-way texts, three-way messages, three-way Zooms, whatever it is. Help your team to get their people on their team also and introduce them to the team. And next thing, share your story. Like, why did you join the business in the first place? What made you pull out your credit card at the beginning? And share that story with other people. What are your goals? When you share your story, you'll connect with people that have similar goals and values. Like for me in my current company, I signed up at first as a customer because I didn't plan to build, and I got a couple products. I had been in bed with sciatic stuff for a month, and my husband literally had to help me walk to the bathroom, and my life basically was on hold because I was in bed 24/7. And I don't even like saying that because I don't like to remember that time because I wasn't sure. I couldn't see if I was ever going to get out of that place, right? And so I was desperate. I bought lots of things to try. Um because and some things worked a little bit, many worked not at all. And then these patches worked instantly. So that sold me. And then I pulled out my credit card. I joined with the biggest package, and at the time, the system let me pick the two top packages at the same time. So I did that. So currently it only lets you pick one package, but at the time there was a glitch or whatever that happened, and I picked the top package and the second from the top package just to have more. But share your reasons, share your testimonial of why you signed up, why you pulled out that credit card, because sometimes people will have the same issue or whatever, and they'll align with that. So then they'll want to ask you questions, right? But regardless, share your personal testimonials and sometimes different parts of it. Like fast forward, I've, had different testimonials over the last 2.5 years with different products that we have. And so share those different ones. You'll develop different testimonials, whether it's different products, different services, your income, the trips you've won, but share those things. I shared when I won a trip to Cabo. I shared when I won a trip to Cancun. So the different trips, I shared when I went to Toronto a couple times. I shared when I went to Orlando. Um, those different things, share those and share the real life with people. And then next, offer value. So don't just focus on selling the opportunity. Offer your prospects and your people something of value, like free training. I train my team for free every single week. Um, Share resources, any resources I find, any resources that I've used over the last 35 years in this industry. I share with my team. I give them what I've learned and help them. And I'm always learning every day because I'm trying to get better myself, personally, professionally, spiritually, in every which way, right? I'm always learning and reading. And then also put value, on the company, on the products, on your team. If they join, are they buying a starter kit? Why? Why or why not? Did you show them the value of coming in with a kit? Did you show them the bonuses that they can earn if they come in with a kit? If they bring others within a kit in a certain amount of time, like in our company, if you come in with a certain kit and you bring other people in with a certain kit within 30 days, you get some extra bonuses. Like, do you show those what people can earn if they come in with a kit and if other team members come in with kits? It goes the same thing with auto ship. Like our company, if you're on 2 packs a month auto ship, if you bring in 3 frontline associates that are also on 2 packs a month auto ship, then you get to pick 2 packs free the following month. So why would anyone not do that? Like what I always tell people is don't let the company keep that money or those products. If they're offering it, then earn it, get it, right? Don't leave it on the table. So, the buying the kits, the same thing. You can earn bonuses if you get them on time. So don't let the company, keep that money. Don't leave it on the table. They're offering it, make sure you get it. Does your sponsor know that you're committed? When I first joined, I told my sponsor I was not going to work the business. I was just going to be a customer. Then I signed up to work the business, but I said, don't expect much out of me because, I'm living the retired life. I've did like they say, work really hard like no one else will, so you can play like no one else can play later. I was at that point in my life and my focus was grandbabies. But now I've signed up over 100 people on my team. And, when people buy a starter kit, when they know that you did, then they're more apt to get that. And you need to have products on hand to try and sell if you're going to be committed. And obviously, I've become committed, right? And so, but you want to tell your sponsor what your plans are and what your goals are, and you want to keep that open communication up, right? So he obviously knew after a very short period that that I was actually going to build. But your sponsor spends time with you to teach you, to train you, to coach you. They should get the commissions from you buying a starter kit, and most people will do what you do. So if you don't buy a starter kit, then how do you expect the people that you bring in to buy a starter kit? And it also leads to that duplication on your team. And there's always excuses, there's always things, right? There's always special situations, but for the most part, that's true. So people will normally do what you do. So you don't want to tell your team to do things or your people to do things that you're not willing to do. But remember, it takes time to build a successful marketing business. So don't be discouraged if you don't see results immediately, but just push forward. But the thing is, don't compare your level here coming in to someone else's level that's been there for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever. Right? The comparison thing can be so detrimental, especially to your emotional health. So compare yourself to yourself. Are you better this month than you were last month? Are you better this year than you were last year? If not, find things to get better. Learn, train, study, read, listen to podcasts, whatever it is. Find things to get better, but compare yourself to yourself. So the next thing to find people that I have is go through your phone, go to your contacts, get out a piece of paper and write down every single contact in your phone. If you don't want to reach out to someone that's in your phone, why? And think of the reason. Are you chicken of them? Are you prejudging them that they would say no or not have the money or not be interested? If it's any of those, that's okay. But that's not for you to decide for someone. Your job is to share it with them. It's their job to decide if it's right for them or not. And if it's not right for them, it's totally okay. You can still be friends with them. Accept that and move on to the next person in your list. But if you fully believe that your product or your service or your company can help someone, then what kind of friend are you if you keep it from them? So simply share it and let them decide. And then the next thing is follow up with people. That is probably one of the biggest things, the biggest things, right? You hear all those stats and those stories of, it takes 7 to 9 times for somebody to say yes once they see or whatever. Not everyone's going to be ready to join your business right away. You need to follow up with your prospects. You need to stay in touch with people. This is one of the biggest things. You need to keep track. You need to keep a list of the people you talked to, what they said, where they were at, and when and how you follow up with them. Make sure you reach back out. Make sure you follow up. We are all busy, right? I'm busy. Are you? Are you busy? I know I am. Think about it. How many times have you went to a website before, you put it in your favorites or you bookmarked it so you could go back later, and then you never went back? Why? Because you're busy, right? So the same thing. Think of it the same way. Follow up with people. If they said that they were just interested or maybe even a yes, but hadn't joined yet, maybe they're just busy and they hadn't had time. Have an email list that you can send out information to people as you get new information. Like I went to Florida and one of the doctors spoke on stage and that was amazing. And I get that information. I can share that with the people that I've talked to before, or other testimonials or sales your company's having, or different things. Keep track of who you've talked to and how you followed up with them in an Excel spreadsheet to keep track. That's my favorite way, but you could do it on paper if you want. Also, I like that digital because then I can have it with me wherever I'm at. This story even reminds me of a liquid vitamin that I need to order. And my person I buy it from, it is another network marketing company. I'm just a customer there, but I do love the product. But they've not followed up with me to see why I hadn't bought recently. But it's something I want. And I've told myself I have this little cough. I need to order this and I need to have it. But I've just been busy and I just hadn't clicked the button. If that person, honestly, if they would have followed up with me, I would have either sat down and did it or I would allow them to click the button for me so it's done. And then they'd have the sale. Because it is something I actually want. And I've been meaning to order. I've just been busy. Right. So think about that. A lot of times that might be somebody else. They've just been busy. So make the time and follow up with people and check in with them. And next, just find other ways to meet people. Eventually, you'll run out of people to talk to. Now, if you tell me you've run out of people to talk to and you went through every single person on your phone and every single person attached to you on social media, there's still going to be more. But you always need to find ways to find more. You should be adding to your social media every day, at least a couple people, like I talked about earlier. Another thing, go sit in a busy coffee shop to work instead of sitting at home. I love sitting at home. I could sit right here in my office. I a lot of times work from my laptop on the couch. I work from the laptop in my bed. And I'm very comfortable with that and I could do that, but that doesn't help me to talk to other people or get to know other people. So sometimes I will just go if I have a couple hours and I need to get some work done. Instead of sitting at home, I will get up and go to a coffee shop and sit there. And I'll smile at people that walk by. And I will end up making conversations with people that come in. I'll meet people. Same thing. You can even simply go to the post office or the grocery store. And while you're standing in line, make a conversation with people. Now, it doesn't have to be cheesy. You don't have to struggle to do it. Now, as you start to do it, of course, the beginning, it's going to be harder. But the more you do it, the easier it's going to be. But you can find anything, you could talk to their kid if they have a kid with them. You could comment, girls especially, I think it's easier, but you could comment, oh, that's a cute purse, that's a cute dress, those are cute shoes, whatever. Find a way to make a conversation. Go ride in an elevator at a busy hotel. Just ride up and down. Talk to people as they get on the elevator. You have them privately for a couple seconds anyway, right? So find something to say. And of course, you're not going to go into your whole spiel right then and there, right? But you can still make conversation and be nice. And then sometimes that does lead to other conversations. Go grab some of those Southwest $49, $59 flights. Go somewhere for the day, different for the day, and talk to people in the airport. You get there 2 hours early, sit in different spots, meet people, make conversations, talk to people on the plane, talk to people in the restaurants in the airport. Wherever you go, get off the plane, go to a restaurant, go to a coffee shop, talk to people, and then get back on the plane that night or whatever. Find different things to do. Another idea is a booth at an event. You can, you at these, you can't just sit back and let people come to you because most of the time people aren't going to come up to your booth. They're going to casually walk by. If you've ever worked any booths, that's the way it's going to be. One great way to attract people into your booth is just say hi, say hello, be friendly, talk to everybody that goes by your booth. But find ways to also bring them into your booth. Like you might have a giveaway, a fishbowl, you might have a pretty banner that's attractive, but that says something on it that gives them an incentive to want to come in. I have on one of my banners, it says, let me show you how to get 15 to 30% more strength, stability, range of motion instantly. Drug-free, chemical-free, supplement-free. Now that's a lot, but I have parts of that big and bold and parts of it not. But people see that as they stroll by. And when I say hello to them, their eyes catch that banner. And then sometimes they're like, oh, what's that? Or you can tell that they're reading it, and then you can ask them, hey, have you heard of your company? And, and get the same thing, draw them in. You can join different networking groups. There's a bunch that are paid, there's a bunch that are free. Google networking in your city. You'll find things that come up. Even if you're in a small city, it's still going to come up. But you can also drive to bigger cities or other cities around you. Like I said, when I was doing networking meetings for that 16 years, I did them every Thursday and Friday. I was living in Columbia, Tennessee at the time, but I did them all around Nashville, literally all around Nashville. So some of them were 30 minutes away, some of them were an hour and a half away. But I drove so I could meet other people. I met in Franklin. Let's see, where all did we meet? We met in Franklin. We met in Clarksville. We met in Hendersonville. We met in Murfreesboro. I don't even remember all now. We met in Spring Hill. There's two more. I don't remember. Anyway, but it was pick your city and meet different places and go to different coffee places, go to different places all the time to meet different people, but use a variety of methods. There's many different ways to recruit new associates. So using those different methods like the online marketing, the social media, the face-to-face networking, your email list to keep in touch with people that you have talked to, so many different ways. And if you have other ways, please tell us those, comment below about those. The doing the TikTok and doing like an HSN commercial, basically. That's a great way to do it too. So it's whatever you're comfortable with, but also sometimes get out of your comfort zone and try different things. Lead with the product if you love the product. And if you don't love the product, you should be representing it anyway. Let's be real. But you don't want people that are going to jump in off to the next shiny object that comes along either, right? You want people to stay and build and learn. And so, but also be a leader. When you're a leader, people will more likely want to join your team. So be a positive role model. Help your team members to succeed. If I came on here and I was just like, hey, y'all, I'd love you to join my product or my company. I can't even make myself talk that such low key because that's not my style. But right, nobody's going to want to join you if you're that low key or that, just kind of humdrum. You want to have that positive and uplifting mindset and aura about you. People love to work with other successful people. So, but also be careful. Don't say what you're not, right? You can always say you just signed up, you're building, you're learning, I'm gonna go here or whatever, but always be working on yourself to be better too. And then conference calls, Zooms, be on as many as you can. If you've heard it over and over, good. You learn by repetition, right? Repetition is the key to learning. You'll learn how to say it better the more you hear it. And also have each guest, have guests on each call as you can. Invite other people to the call. When you have guests on the call, you're going to want to be on that call. And when you have guests on the call, you're going to want other people to be on the call. So if you want other people to be on the call, then you be on the call. Have your team see you on the call. Do what you want your people to do. Do you want to have your people on the call? Do you want your people to be inviting other people to the call? Then you be on the call and you invite other people to the call. Same thing. Most people, they will do what you do, not what you say. It's just like raising kids. And lastly, have fun. Network marketing should be fun. When you're having fun, it's much easier to attract new associates. It shouldn't be like work. Now, it is work. I don't lie to people. I don't tell people sign up and just see all the money come in, right? Now, sometimes that can happen and you can get lucky, but it is work. But the thing is, you want to have fun while you're doing it. Don't look at it as I have to find 5 to 50 hours a week and add it into my schedule because I'm already busy, right? No, work it while you're living your life, but always be open for opportunities to present itself for you, for your family. Find ways to bring it up. And, but the same thing, don't be all business to the detriment of your family. It's great to make money. I've made good money for the last 35 plus years in this industry, but it's also huge to maintain a balance of that personal life and business. You don't want to work your business so much because most people say they join the business to help their family, right? You don't want to work it so much that you lose your family in the process, whether it's your spouse or your children or whatever. But you want to find ways to fit it in. And yes, sometimes you add in also, right? Because priorities, right? There's always different priorities and there's always different schedules. And so there might be an important call that you set a time, side time extra to be on. I was on a call, leadership call earlier today, extra to be on than our normal calls, right? I made the time to be on it. But live your life, but learn how to fit it into your life also. Like when I go out, I do things for my business while I'm going out also. And so you learn to fit it in the pockets of what you're already doing in your life, right? And so that is one of the best ways to enhance and bless your life. So I hope these tips helped you. So Laurie's Lessons, if you have any comments or any other ideas, please comment them below. You can also reach out to me and let me know what your thoughts are. You can always give me a review on different social medias or follow me on the different social medias and let me know what other things you want me to train on and coach on next time. Hope you have a great day, everyone, and I hope you've learned something, and thanks so much for tuning in.